needs to be what is geared towards your journey.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, there's no one success for everyone.
Not at all. I've seen a lot of times where someone will chase a dream they think that is success, and once they do that, it's like, oh, I feel terrible. Like, I'm not fulfilled. What the fuck is this? Like, what is success for you? You know?
Facts, because you think it's just money, right? So you think
100%.
once you hit $1 million or once you hit X amount, you're successful.
100%.
You get there, nothing's changed.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.
All right, we got the Viking in the building. Adonis Bjornson, my man.
Yes. How's it going, brother?
Good, man. Tell me about the attire and the hat.
Dude, this is like my freaking get up here. It's all just being me. That's like part of the freaking journey of life. My last name's Bjornson. I got the Viking. I'm Greek, Italian. I'm in a mixture of like everything. So,
wow.
Of course, dude, love my my Louis Vuitton beanie. Most of the time, I'm wearing my Slayer beanie. That's like my signature freaking look.
You got some Viking lineage?
A little bit, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
mixture
powerful.
of that, some mainly, I would say mainly that and Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you basically teach people how to escape the matrix, right?
How to escape the matrix, how to manifest their dream life, how to fully change the subconscious beliefs. That's a major thing within it.
And that's very important, especially these days with all the subconscious programming.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the major thing going on right now is that like the distractions, everyone like, which direction do I go? Do I think this way? Do I think that way? Having control of the mind is in essence the most important thing.
Right. So what's a lot of the programming you're seeing right now centered around?
You know, I would say the biggest thing is fear. Keeping people in this state of lack and fear, especially, I mean, TikTok, Instagram, they're freaking amazing. So awesome to learn as much knowledge as you can and obviously enjoy. It's fun, it's entertaining, but I've noticed there's a lot of like a lack. A lot of people are focusing in on what they don't have, on how bad things are. And yes, that's definitely going on. The economy's been freaking crazy. Things are crazy, but the more we focus in on that, we get more of that in a sense.
Yeah, because your mind will just find a way to manifest it.
100%. Absolutely. I know for myself, if I'm on there and I see a few like that, I kind of will get even sucked into it. Like, oh my gosh, this is really bad. Wait, is things really bad? Wait, is it like this or that? And it can be distracting for sure.
And it's easy to find yourselves comparing.
Yes, 100%. Comparison is so bad. And heard this the other day that true success is what you make it. Like, your success is completely different than mine. It needs to be what is geared towards your journey.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, there's no one success for everyone.
Not at all. I've seen a lot of times where someone will chase a dream they think that is success, and once they do that, it's like, oh, I feel terrible. Like, I'm not fulfilled. What the fuck is this? It's like, what is success for you? You know?
Facts, because you think it's just money, right? So you think
100%.
once you hit $1 million or once you hit X amount, you're successful.
100%.
You get there, nothing's changed.
Absolutely. Even with my attire, I'm like, yeah, it can look silly. It's my Viking thing. I'm like, why not? I want to be how the heck I want to be, you know?
Yeah. So talk to me about your definition of success then.
My definition of success for me personally is to achieve like the best version of myself in a sense. How far can I take it? You know, I mean, I've achieved a lot of success. I've manifested a lot of things, and I keep thinking, how far can I go? How far can I go? Really interesting with this. I can remember 6 years ago, even right around this time, I can remember I was at a low point in my life, had nothing really going on. I'm like, you know, one day I want to do something really special. I want to be on an amazing podcast. And I can remember that still to this day. And this is like one of the first major freaking podcasts. And it's just crazy how having that intention, setting something in motion like that, having a manifestation and a true goal that is really for you. You know what I mean? Like I said, that was a dream of mine. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but it's going to unfold.
I love that. So what's your manifestation process? Is it you sit down and you really think about it and the emotions?
One thing that I do, I've done this forever, since I was a kid. This really weird. I call it a quantum visualization run. So I love running. I run 5 to 10 miles a day, just going, listening to soundtrack music of all type of music. I mean, I love all types of music, but I love soundtrack music. So from Star Wars, Marvel, video games, and the act of running while visualizing. Again, my eyes aren't closed and I'm visualizing. Obviously, I'd hit something, but it's getting so deep into that imagination state where it's like I'm feeling innocent. Like it's really, really there. And for some reason, like I said, the actual running of it kind of heightens different emotions and whatnot. I heard this recently. it was, I forget what it was, but it was basically, why is it that like runners, when they go for a really, really long run, they can actually become more emotional? It's just the endorphins, the dopamine, all the different hormones happening when you do a long, long run like that.
Right.
It totally changes that. And it just adds to the visualization.
Yeah, they call it runner's high, right?
Exactly. Runner's high.
Yeah, so I used to be a distance runner. I've had it a couple times. I would run at midnight, and it's just me and it's so quiet out. So I used to love it, actually. And you're really at peace when you're running.
100%. Dude, that's freaking wild, dude. I've done the same thing. I'll go out at like 11 and just freaking go as long as I can. It's so dark like that. It's so freaking chill.
So calming, dude.
Yeah,
it's hard to explain if you haven't done it. People probably think we're weird watching this.
I know. They're like, what the hell? Why would you run so late?
That's funny. Let's talk demigods, man.
Demigod. Okay, this might sound crazy, but I feel all of us, in a sense, are a type of demigod. In a sense, I believe there's a main source, if you will. And again, like, what is stopping us from being the best version of ourselves? You know what I mean? The way you view yourself is everything. You know what I mean? There is rules to life, but in the same sense, there isn't. It's, if you see yourself as this absolute freaking king, if you see yourself as this great version, you're going to become that. You know, and I truly, Odin, Zeus, Thor, all of them, I do believe in a sense they were these legendary figures, in a sense. I use the term demigod, but there's this connection that I feel we all have. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier, even escaping from the matrix and what manifestation is, what the mindset is. It is all tied together to how you view yourself. 100%.
I really do believe we're spiritual beings inside a human physical body.
100%.
Not the other way around.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I've recently thought of like this, where it's body, mind, and then consciousness, soul. It's somewhere else in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, you could think of our phones, a laptop. It stores the memory, it's on, but it needs that power source to actually run. And it's the same thing. Our consciousness, our soul is outside of us in a sense, you know?
Absolutely. You made a post on your Instagram, men need to become men again.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you feel like they're kind of becoming...
Definitely within that, I feel the biggest thing that I have been seeing is most men are losing, like, don't have purpose. There's a lot of different narratives going on, but when men lose their purpose, that kind of goes into divine masculinity as well, is having that drive, having that purpose that is unique to you, kind of like we said with success. You know what I mean? What you're doing here, everything you're doing, you have this drive, this absolute divine masculinity. It's such a beautiful thing to be in that place where you're just a powerhouse of a human being. You know?
You also have some interesting takes on realities.
Yeah.
So you got 5D reality, personal, and baseline. Can you explain what those
100%. So baseline reality would be all of us here agreeing together, okay, this is like this, the sun comes up this way. Like, you know, basically our thought paradigms together are all coexisting together. Personal reality, again, would be the way you're viewing the world, or the way you think things should be, the way that you view the success for yourself. And then lastly, 5D reality would be the place that you go when you're having that visualization. If you're closing your eyes or even just imagining it right now, you know, daydreaming in and of itself is the 5D. When we're going there with that place, you could call it your third eye, whatever, however you want to say it. But when you go to that place, it's in a sense and a reality that is existing. All of them, you could say in a sense, all of them are existing all together all at once.
Right. How can people become more aware of everything that's going on right now?
I would say distractions, 100%. The more that you can focus in exactly on what you want and really eliminate people and things that are pulling you away from that. You know what I mean? I'll say this, this is a tough one, but it can even be friends and family. If they might love you, but they might not be for your ultimate dream or your goals. So you got to be really careful. Either you don't tell them those things or you kind of pull back in a sense, you know what I mean? But having that awareness is so crucial. Wherever your awareness goes, that's where the energy is going to flow. Again, like we said earlier, if your awareness is on, oh my gosh, the world is so bad, everything is so horrible, nothing's fair, nothing's right, all your energy is going to go into that. Therefore, you're going to get that back.
And I feel like they try to do that with wars.
Yes.
They try to make it...
100%. All of it. It's all the awareness, the manipulation of it. That's a big thing. Like, people have to realize
Are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? Well, click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
in a sense, is always some level of manipulation going on between people, between awareness. We're all wanting one thing, another. You could even say like everyone's trying to be at that survival level. Some people get fully out of that where they realize, hey, everything is taken care of. I'm going to put my awareness on the highest things that I can be, in a sense.
Yeah, the first one I remember growing up was 9/11.
Yeah.
That one really made me feel a type of way. But when you look back at it, a lot of it was programmed to be that way.
Yes, that's what's scary. It's scary, but it's also a good thing of how much we are waking up. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people are still kind of closed-minded or just following, how would I say it? Being a good boy, being a good girl in a sense, following what the social norms are telling them to. But then there's a lot of this are like, wait a sec, maybe this isn't the way that it actually looks. Maybe there's something else behind this. And that I'm seeing that a lot. I think all of us, I think it's a beautiful thing that social media is helping us all connect in that sense where we're seeing different viewpoints that we never would have seen before.
When was that major shift for you where you were like, let me go out on my own a bit?
You know, probably about, I would say like 5-6 years ago. I can remember it was actually an Arnold Schwarzenegger quote where he said, don't be afraid to break the rules. And I remember thinking at the time I was doing everything the way my parents said, society, like so calculated in a sense, oh, it has to be this way. And I had this huge awakening where I'm like, why? Wait, why is it this way? What if I do break the rules? And I'm not saying do anything legal, but it's like change your mindset. Like, why does it have to be this way? Maybe I don't have to do exactly this. Maybe I don't have to go to college. Maybe I can actually start my own business. Maybe I can do whatever I want in a sense, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man, because you just kind of follow the script without questioning it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I did that too until I was like in my 20s.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. That's a long time.
It is. It's a long time. There's some people in their 30s, 40s, 50s. I mean, they've been following it their whole life. It's never too late to wake up in a sense and be like, hey, I can do what I want in a sense. But the sooner you can, life changes a lot.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful part of being human. We have that free will aspect where we can make 100%. Our own decisions to a certain point. So other animals can't do that.
Yeah, 100%. That is, again, even going back to that demigod way, it's like that's everything. Being able to have that awareness, have that awakening where you can choose. You know?
Yeah. How did you develop your mindset to not care about the opinions of other people?
It's funny that it took some time, but you find yourself in the fear. You find yourself in the unknown. There's that term, most people would rather stay in a familiar hell than an unknown heaven. I feel the biggest thing to have that no f***s given mindset, you have to step into the unknown. You have to do something you haven't done before. And the more you do it, if you actually live your life in a way where it's new every day. It's new. Let me do something new. Let me try something new. Let me go about this in a different mindset. Life unfolds so good. Like things just naturally come to you in that sense. When you stay too much in the familiar, especially the familiar mindset like that, it can be very complacent and you can kind of get stuck.
Stagnant.
Very stagnant, yes.
And you see that with certain workplaces and school. For me, it was definitely school. I would have the mindset of, oh, if I did this, what would my classmates think?
Yes.
100%. And I had that mindset my whole 12 years in school.
100%. The same freaking way. And the more I branch out and always say this, if I don't want to do it, I need to do it. I kind of feel uncomfortable. Maybe this isn't the right time to do this. No, do it. Do what feels uncomfortable. The more you do the uncomfortable, the more you figure out who the you are.
Facts. Yeah, you 100%. Can't grow if you're just...
You can't. Not at all. The only thing that should stay familiar in your life is your patience and determination to keep going, to never give up. That's the only things that should stay constant, is just keep going. But everything else, stay in the unknown.
Law of detachment. What is that?
Law of detachment. That is kind of what we were just talking about even there, is the more, two parts of this. When you don't give a about something, when you pull back and you just focus on the experience of life itself, more and more things will come to you. But with detachment, especially the law of detachment, let's say there's a certain relationship you want to be in, it could be a certain job. The more you want it, the more you really desire it and you're chasing after it, that thing is just going to keep going further and further away. The moment you're like, hey, you know what? I would like this. This would be really great in my life. I can see myself doing this, but I'm going to let it go. If it happens, it happens. Let it go. That mindset makes you so magnetic. Especially, I see this all the time in relationships. When you pull back and you're like, yeah, I like this person. They're pretty cool, but I'm kind of more into myself. I'd rather focus on my things. I'm going to pull my energy back. That person starts to bring their energy towards you. And it's wild because try that experiment. Like if you really want something, it seems like it goes away. The second you start to pull back, you'll start to see synchronicities where it's like, oh, wow, okay, this is actually coming closer to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Yeah, that makes sense, though, because girls want to chase you if they see something.
100%. It has all the freaking... It's the most common thing is within a relationship. And I'm at the point now where I feel no matter how good the relationship is, there's always going to be that kind of chase back and forth. It's never like purely balanced. It's always going to be one person's kind of chasing more than the other back and forth. And it's good. It's a really healthy thing, but it's good to remember that to keep that flow ever going in a sense, you know?
Do you go after girls with masculine energy?
No, I would definitely be, no, definitely not. No, definitely this is a big thing here. The divine feminine energy and that divine masculine energy is so freaking important. But I see this so often, and this is something my female clients just cannot stand, is having to actually be in their masculine. And they feel, again, with how everything's going on in the world, it's kind of upside down right now. But when a woman is in her divine feminine, she feels she's in that safe place. She can have that princess treatment. She is a goddess. She feels protected and so loved. Now, the same thing, because of that, if she's in a relationship with this guy, if he's in his divine masculine, he feels powerful. He feels good. He knows he can take care. And together, the energies just balance each other out so freaking well. And it's, at the end of the day, I think it would be very hard to not be in that place. If you truly are in your divine masculine energy or your divine feminine energy, you're going to feel good. Like life itself will flow so much better. And I feel that is something right now that is going on, you could say, in the matrix, in a sense, where those energies are all mixed up.
Yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
They've done studies on this too with like breadwinners of the home. And if the female is the breadwinner, actually the divorce rates are higher.
Yeah, 100%.
And I always thought it was just a money thing, but when you look deeper into it on a spiritual level with these energies, it makes sense.
So true, 100%. I have never met a woman that didn't want her man to put effort in, to be a powerhouse, to be strong, and actually, it comes back to even that self-worth. If you really feel good about yourself, you're going to do your absolute best. You're going to feel like the man.
Yeah.
And the same thing. I mean, what woman doesn't want to feel loved, appreciated, to feel like a freaking queen? If they say they don't, I feel like, come on, you got to be lying,
Yeah, absolutely. There's always weird outliers, but we're talking in generalities.
100%, yeah.
Do you believe in the law of attraction?
100%, absolutely. But in a different way, my approach to it, again, is what you become, who you are, is what you attract. A lot of times people think, hey, I just want this. I'm going to think about this. I want to attract it, law of attraction. It's more of who you become. If you become the person that has the cars, has this great business, has the house, has the relationship, however that looks to you, you got to step into that role. And a lot of times people do not understand that. They might be at their lowest, and they feel, because I'll say this, I do feel there's this sense of entitlement that is added in to society from the matrix as a distraction that, oh, hey, no, you can be at your worst. You deserve this right now. You deserve to have the relationship. You don't need to heal. You don't need to love yourself. You don't need to figure it out. Just get the relationship right now. Again, it's that entitlement that is tricking people, where the more you focus on you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, the best people are going to come into your life.
Right.
100%.
I agree.
Time and time again.
It's happened with me, man.
Yeah.
The more self-work I do, the better people come in my life.
100%. Absolutely.
And people try to do the opposite, right? They try to attract great people before the self-work.
Yes.
And it's like, you're not at that level yet.
100%. Absolutely. Every time. It's the most prevalent I have seen, especially in relationships. Going back to even what we said in the divine energies, divine masculine, divine feminine. when you attach yourself to that, when you become the best version, you have that self-love, everything starts to flow all the freaking way. Goes back to that confidence. I mean, wherever I go, I will say this, not to sound egotistical or cocky in a sense, I have such a confidence in myself that it's like no matter what, anywhere I go, I can't be rejected or hurt because I don't reject myself. Like, I mean, someone could literally, they could hate me right to my face and I'd be like, that's your problem. That is not a reflection of me. That is just simply a reflection of how you feel. You know what I mean?
I love that, man. Because
100%.
this hits deep with me. I had major confidence issues growing up, man, to be honest. So to hear that is powerful.
100%. When you change that, I've really seen this so many times. It's not so much about the physical ever. I mean, I say this all the time on my TikToks, Instagram. I'm like, I'm literally the best looking human being on the planet. And I'm like, I don't care. It's not about this. It is just strictly this. And you could call it delusional, crazy, but when you feel that, there's nothing better. There's literally nothing better than loving yourself unconditionally, being like, you know what? I'm on this journey. I'm going to experience everything I can in life. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, no, that's powerful, man. There's a lot of guys out there, you know, I think growing up in a single household, I didn't have that confidence as a man, you know?
100%.
So that affected my dating life, my sports, everything. Rubbed off into everything.
100%, absolutely. I've worked with so many clients like that. It's funny for me. I went through a different phase where my mom, she spoiled me and mothered me so much that I didn't know who I was. Like, I actually... There was a point in my life I despised myself because it was such, not that it was a fake love, but it was it was a motherly love where I felt like, who am I? Like, I have to go through something. I have to figure out who I am. I have to love myself first. I can't just be, love for no reason in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to find who you are. And man, when I went through those journeys, I'm still now, each and every day, I love going through trials and tribulations and the unknown because you find more of who you are.
Absolutely. All the time. You dabble in any psychedelics or anything like that?
I used to when I was younger a little bit. I did have a LSD trip one time that was like, I went over the top.
You saw Jesus?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. It was pretty freaking wild. Yeah, actually, it was funny. Funny story with it is, I was tripping really hard. And this was in high school. And I was like, I can't handle this. I actually had to call my parents. I was like, come home. I'm tripping. They had to leave work, my poor dad. And
damn.
He actually came home and I remember I was like really tripping so bad. And my dad, he freaking was like, oh, I'm going to really mess with him. My dad's like, I am Yoda. And I was like, oh my God. I can remember this. I'm like, what? I thought you were my dad. He's like, no, I am Yoda. Still to this day, we'll talk about that.
Dude, that's a real one right there.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Because he could have came home angry and you would have been in the hospital at that point.
100%. Yeah, he was cool that he knew. He's like, I remember him still to this day. He said, okay, I got to play this cool or else he's going to be freaking really.
He probably used to do it too.
Yeah, 100% for sure.
It was back in his hippie days.
Yeah, for sure. 100 freaking.
Were you able to get your parents out of the Matrix too?
Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
Yeah. It took them a while, but they're really seeing it 100%.
Nice. That's awesome.
Even I'll say this, they're still kind of on their journey. I see them going through it more and more, but learning different things. And it's I can see at their age they're definitely out of it, but they're kind of tired too. I can see.
Yeah,
it's like you
get that generation is tough to convince, man.
Yeah,
it took me years from my mother. My dad was actually out of it before I was, which is crazy.
Wow,
that's he was cool. Calling all this before it happened.
That's awesome.
But he was also a 160 IQ, so he could.
Oh yeah, he couldn't. He knew it.
He thought differently.
Wild.
Yeah, but I see it with my cousins though. Like they're trapped in it. Like it's tough to see, dude.
That's the hardest part.
And you seem crazy trying to like get them out.
When you tell them, that's the hardest part. Is even in my daily interactions or some clients, so when they first come to me and I can see how bad, like they're in such a bad place mentally where they can't see it. The self-love is so low. The awareness is not where it needs to be. After time they finally get through it, but it's really sad and it's scary to me how many people are out there day to day that are just so sucked into the Matrix. They're
NPCs, they're
100%
robots.
NPCs all the way. It's literally like the Matrix. When Agent Smith, like he can just go to freaking person to person like that and just control them. It really is like that.
It's crazy the messaging in these movies like Terminator and Matrix, how they're actually starting to happen.
Yeah, that is wild. 100%. That in and of itself, I don't know. I feel that the more we have this awareness, like we said earlier, it all starts to gel together in the synchronicities of it. And it starts to be like, wait a sec, is this some type of roadmap in a sense that we were shown long ago, and now it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they don't want everyone to be aware.
They don't. Yeah, 100%. That's the more aware we become, the more we question them, the more we question everything. All the institutions, everything that has been in place for so long, when it comes to religion and politics, you don't want people to question. Mm-hmm. When you have questioning, that's when you have different hierarchies, and then you can have revolutions and things like that. If people are just content and their freaking head is down, their eyes are just focused on one little thing like that, into distractions, that's where I would say the Matrix wants people to be.
Yeah, people are starting to question government organizations like the IRS, the FBI,
100%,
CIA. You saw Vivek talking about this.
100%, absolutely.
They're all just bleeding money.
Yeah, it's getting really bad. I mean, it's getting to the point where I've noticed it almost seems like every other month something new happens, something new's popping up where it's like, what the heck? The trust is starting to disappear.
Yeah,
you know,
it is. Did you see that fake alien thing in Miami?
Yes, yeah.
That was so obvious.
I know. It was like, come on.
10 years ago that might have worked, but
yeah, not now. No way. And I'm at the point even with that. I'm like, every little thing like that I see, I'm like, okay, what are you trying to hide somewhere else? Or
Right.
What is the distraction here we're looking at where behind the scenes there's something else, you know?
Yeah, it's like they save a bunch of crazy stories in the background in case something big happens.
100%.
They want to just distract people. Oh, there's this story.
100%. You know it's bad when they were like, okay, everyone, aliens do exist. We're declassifying it. It's true. And everyone's like, yeah, we don't care. Like, life is already like this and that. You know it's bad when people basically know.
People are waking up. It's cool to see,
Yeah.
man. I think it's a spiritual revolution, right?
100%. I think it's just going to get better and better. I think more and more people are going to become awake and step into who they want to be.
Right.
100%.
Talking about the work you do for your clients and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. The major thing, like two major parts to this is I will visualize for them. What I said earlier, doing those quantum visualization runs, they will give me a breakdown, a list of what it is they want to have happen. I will really, really deeply visualize them in that place. I mean, when it comes to visualizations, there might be a quick, just 10 to 30 second scene I'll see. There might be one that's like, I'm really, really deep within that visualization where it's like 1 to 5 minutes of like, wow, I'm freaking there.
Wow.
There's that aspect. And then right away is the subconscious mind, changing that, getting a hold of, okay, what are my old past traumas? What are my beliefs now? How do I completely turn that upside down and start to become who I want to be?
Nice. So are you putting them under hypnosis?
I would say it's a self-hypnosis, not like a traditional way, but it's definitely that the affirmations, the way they speak about themselves, like really taking it, that self-love, and you could say the ego in a sense, I take it to such an extreme level. All my female clients are goddesses, all my male clients are kings. I mean, right off the bat, I'm like, you need to start seeing yourself as that today, right now.
Right.
The first thing I tell most of them is like, when you go out anywhere, everywhere you go, say to yourself and believe that everyone is attracted to you. Everyone is looking at you. You are the star of the show. Like instantly say that to yourself and believe it, and then just let it go. Like, let's see what happens. Every one of my clients within a day to a week is like, oh my gosh, like exes are calling me. People are coming up to me I've never talked to before. Like, what the heck is going on? I mean, yeah, it's so powerful when you change that and you really say it with conviction and you mean it, and then you just let it go. You just play life. Let life play out as it may.
It's almost like your energy field is just giving off that aura, right?
100%.
To attract.
Absolutely. 100%. I would say everything we do, like it is our subconscious mind, but there's so many boxes, there's so many categories, so many things we put ourselves in. And what if we just let go? Going back to the whole demigod thing, what if we just wake up one day and you're like, yeah, dude, I am a demigod living amongst humans here. I'm just going to have the greatest time ever. It's like, I always reference like Thor Ragnarok, like he was here on Earth living amongst the people, just having a good old time, but he's this demigod, and it's why couldn't you be that? Maybe you are.
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you always had such vivid visualizations?
Yeah, 100%. Ever since I was a kid, my imagination was absolutely wild. And it's very bizarre because I can think back, I mean, even to being like 5 and 6 years old, and I'm like, all of this is tied together. It's such a calling for me to be able to visualize like that. And I can even remember this too. At around 11, I can remember I had this huge conscious awakening. And it was really hard being that age, not being able to express that or tell my parents, and they thought I was crazy in a sense. I can still remember I was in the bathroom. I was really looking at my hand. I was going like, what really is this? Like, what the am I as an 11-year-old thinking these thoughts? You're like, oh my God, what is this? I can remember having that.
That's cool. Did you have imaginary friends growing up?
Oh yeah, 100%. All the freaking time. I can imaginary friends. I can even remember like really vividly picturing, dinosaurs, like dragons, all that type of stuff. But I mean, as a kid, it was so real. And I think that, again, that I've taken that mindset now as an adult into reality in a different way, where it's like visualizing being so successful, visualizing. I just freaking got an Aventador, and it was like I could see myself in it in the freaking Lamborghini. And I'm like, it's a different way of pretending in a sense.
I love that, because as kids, a lot of us have that visual power, right? And it seems like it dissipates over time, just being part of society.
100%. It is just completely brainwashed out of us in a sense. And then the brainwashing something else, okay, you got to do this. You don't ever have dreams, don't have this or that. Just, again, I'm going to go back to that term, be a good boy, be a good girl, and do exactly what you're told. Go to college, go to the school, go to the 9 to 5, do it like this. At this age, you got to have this or that. There's so many categories and boxes that we are put in all through life, and it just does not have to be that way.
Yeah, it's all about unlearning those bad behaviors.
100%. And again, goes back to that subconscious, is what are those beliefs? Where did they come from? Were they your parents' beliefs? Were they your grandparents, your friends? Was it the teacher's belief?
Absolutely. Adonis, it's been super fun, man. Anything you want to promote or close off with?
Yeah, I would say if anyone wants to work with me, go to manifestwithadonis.com, and my Instagram is Adonis _ Bjornson.
Boom. We'll link it below. Awesome. Thanks for coming on, man.
Definitely,
that was fun.
Brother, it was great, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.